Is your farmland worth buying, or is it absolute garbage? Well, in this video, we're going to be checking that out. So moving to a farm is a pretty exciting task, but what if your farmland is garbage? Well, that's what I already said I'm going to be providing you with the information with. So I want you to imagine your perfect front yard, or maybe if it's what you'd probably see in a $280 million mansion, well, imagine it if it was a 250 grand farmhouse. Yeah, let's just imagine that. So imagine your amazing backyard. Now, does the backyard you're looking at kind of meet those standards? I want you to imagine at least your base standards. Make sure they're not picky, because you'll probably never find a farmland within your price range if you're real picky about this. So this right here, I know it's all like dead grass and stuff. That's because we're currently in an awful drought and, you know, stuff like that. So if your backyard is full of amazing like wildlife and bushes, but it doesn't like have like all the stuff you want, like let's just say you want to do a garden in your backyard like we do. Well, imagine your backyard it doesn't have the land built for a garden. Maybe it's just all uphill. Maybe your backyard just isn't suited for that. Now location, I know that sounds really stupid, but trust me, it's not. So like imagine you're buying a house, I don't know, let's just say up in Maine or something like that, and you want to buy this house. Oh no, here comes a semi. Well, there goes my entire viewer retention. Well, let's just say you want to grow a garden in Maine, really far north Maine, near the border of Canada, let's just say. So let's just say you want to grow a garden there. You can only grow a select few plants there. Or let's just say, or we also need to take in the geography into context. So if you really want to grow a garden, or even just like have chickens, but you have the steepest hills that not even the bravest skier would ski down, well, then chances are you're probably not going to have chickens. And well, you'd probably not want to walk up hills that are probably that of a double black diamond, except 20 times worse, and 20 times more scary than having to maneuver around rocks when skiing. Either way, yeah. Now we need to check and see if the land is suitable for what you want. So let's just say you get you're looking into buying this farm. It's 2,000 acres, but only 300 grand. There's probably something wrong with the land. Either it's completely 100% unmaintained, more work for you to do, or 1,500 acres are woods, and only 2 acres are completely maintained. But those 2 acres are your backyard. And yeah, you probably don't want to grow a farm there. So yeah, good luck mowing 500 acres of just like absolute hell on earth that was probably last mowed back in 1925. So is the land suitable? So that also implies with geography too, except to a lesser extent. Like I already talked about like the location. Like if your property's on a double black diamond ski slope, then of course you're probably not going to want to grow a farm there, or even just like have livestock. But you know, if you are in a much more suitable area for geography, except there's only one issue: there's just too many sprawling weeds there, or 95% of your property is just a bunch of woods. Well, sorry to say this, pal, but well, you might need to find a new land plot. I mean, I'd probably be better off building a house blindfolded in 32-degree weather than buying 2,500 acres for 20 grand, just because 2,499 acres is just a bunch of unmaintained BS. Now, you might also want to take into perspective like what type of land you're working with. So the soil also helps a lot. So if you have really bad soil that like if you're trying to build a barn, get a building permit or something like that for that, well, you might as well fail it, because well, soil puts a lot into contrast. Because when, like, let's just say you have someone like digging a foundation for your barn, and they find that you have, I don't know, the most acidic soil out there at like 0.0001 pH, then chances are no one's gonna want to go there, because you know, your soil is just too acidic. Either ways, you need to take into contrast like what type of land you're working with. Like if you notice you have a bunch of dead grass, or you don't even have any trees in your yard, that might be a big red flag about something about the soil, or there could even be a virus in the soil. I was originally thinking that the reason the potatoes were dying was because of the virus, but it actually turns out that it wasn't the virus. It wasn't a virus. It was them just getting ready to harvest real early. So congratulations. Let's just say the property you're building has officially met these standards. But there's just one thing. There's one more thing that you're missing. Wildlife. Let's just say the property you're planning on buying doesn't have a lot of wildlife or just has too much wildlife. An example of very little wildlife would mean an extremely unbalanced food chain. So like, let's just say that you have, I don't know, 75 deer on your property, but like no coyotes. That would be too little wildlife to help keep them away from your garden and your chickens. Even though they won't do that much harm to your chickens, they will scare the living crap out of them and make your rooster scream even more. And an example of too much wildlife would be like, I don't know, 100 deer, 100 coyotes, 100 bobcats, 100 fisher cats per square acre. Yeah, that's the exact definition of overpopulation right there. So yeah. Hey you, I want you to subscribe, like, and choose that video on the screen right now, or else, well, you know what the consequences will be, so do it.